Hey, what's up you guys, it's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to go into chapter 2 of 4 Perfect Pebbles by Lila Pearl and Marian Boomthalo Lazan. So let's get right into this video. This video is going to contain sensitive topics and foul language. If you do not wish to continue, I suggest you click off the video now. You have been warned. A small town in Germany. Hoya. That was the name of the town where Marian had lived for the first 4 years of her life. It lies on the Weser River in the northwestern Germany, about halfway between the cities of Hanover and Bremen. Like many of the old towns along the river, its streets were lined with pointy-roofed merchant houses, for the west was an outlet of the North Sea. Mama had often recalled how, as a young woman of 20, she'd taken a very long train ride across northern Germany to seek her future, and ended up in of all places Hoya. Mama, who was born Ruth Moses, was the eldest of 5 daughters of a German Jewish family living near the city of Tilsit in far off East Perugia. Today, Tilsit, renamed Savas, is part of Russia. I wanted to get out of that small place, she told her children, so I answered an ad in the newspaper for a job as a bookkeeper. The first work I got was in Brakel, a place in Westphalia, to the south of here. But after a time I saw an ad for a better job in a shoe store in Hoya. Hoya was even smaller than Brakel, and much, much smaller than Tilsit. It had only 3,000 people and exactly 44 Jews, but I liked it, so I stayed. There was more to Mama's story than that. After working just 2 weeks in the Bloomfield's family business in Hoya, she received a proposal of marriage from their son Walter, and in December 1931, when Ruth was 23 and Walter was 35, the couple married. Their first child, Albert, was born on October 11, 1932. Marian was born 2 years later on December 20th, 1934. Lenny and Max Bloomfield, Marian's grandparents, whom she knew as Oma and Opa, were as much a part of her early memories as were her parents and her brother. The other Bloomfields lived on the second floor of a tall, sturdily built house in the town center. Marian's family lived on the 3rd floor. On the first or ground floor was the store itself, where Papa and Opa sold shoes and men's and boys' clothing, and where Mama continued her bookkeeping and secretarial duties. Oma cared for Albert and Marian and cooked the evening meal, for which the entire family gathered. While Marian, the baby of the family, was being rocked to sleep, the grown-ups sat around the table and talked. We talked, Mama remembered, about the store, about the events of the day, and mostly about the man Hitler. That man Hitler. He had been around for 10 years or more, by the early 1930s, when Albert and Marian were born, as a leader of the National Socialist German Workers' Party, the Nazi Party for short, from National, the German word for national. He ranted against communist Jews and gypsies, and against Slavic peoples such as Poles and Russians, all of whom he considered inferior. He also denounced any Germans who were crippled, deformed, or mentally ill as being unworthy of existence. Such nonsense, most people thought at first. The man was nothing more than a political crackpot with a small band of followers. In 1923, he had served 9 months in jail after a crazed attempt to overthrow the government. His Nazi party was only one of many political parties that were represented by popular vote in the Reichstag, the lower house of the German parliament. Yet by 1930, the Nazi party had gained an alarming number of deputies in the Reichstag in a little more than a year, and its representatives had increased from 12 to 107, and 2 years later, in 1932, the Nazi Party, with 37% of the vote, was the largest in Germany. Two splintered politically to form a united front against the Nazis. The other parties had become small and helpless. While the Bloomfields debated around their family dinner table, had their frightening development taken place? One didn't have to look for the answer. Economic conditions in Germany had been very bad ever since the defeat of the fatherland in the Great War of 1914 through 1918, and the worldwide depression that hit in 1929 had only made things worse. Hitler insisted that he had the remedy for all of the Germany's woes. Though his frequent public speeches at massive Nazi-sponsored rallies, he made his message clear. He would restore Germany's honor, increase its territory, and bring its lost prosperity. His attacks on its enemies within, especially the Jews, grew more and more frequentized. I'm gonna leave it off right there because one, my daughter is crying. So yeah, I'm gonna go deal with that, and then I will come back and read again. Bye.